The biggest terrestrial creature still alive is the elephant. Its skeleton, which has undergone significant development from that of the typical mammal, was created for two major purposes. One must contend with the enormous weight of the big head, which is made even more so by the enormous, grinding cheek teeth and lengthened tusk. The other is to support such a massive body's immense weight. According to the university's financial plan, money is distributed to each state account at the start of each fiscal year. Each account receives a certain amount of money based on the expense item. Before starting transactions to use the money, account managers must make sure that there are enough funds in the right account. When the Solar System was reduced from 9 to 8 planets by the International Astronomical Union, Pluto lost its official status. Pluto's exclusion was received with cheers from the crowd, despite the fact that there had been spirited discussion at the General Assembly meeting in Prague regarding the definition of a planet and whether Pluto fit the requirements. The term akimbo, which must be among the language's more peculiar-looking words and confounds us in part because it doesn't appear to have any relatives. Additionally, it is now essentially a fossil term that was nearly always associated with arms until recently. Akimbo, a standing position that conveys irritability, antagonism, or disdain, is one in which the hands are placed on the hips. The predators really liked hiking pathways, even if the majority of species didn't avoid them. But without a doubt, there was some influence of human activity on animals. In hunted regions, photographs of heavily hunted animals including white-tailed deer, gray squirrels, and raccoons were taken less often. Despite that, coyotes appeared more often in hunting zones. Night shift employees are the second category that is particularly vulnerable. People who have sleep problems, notably sleep apnea, is the third category that is most vulnerable. Sleep apnea affects 1 in 3 males and 1 in every 6 women. Despite this, 85% of cases go undetected and untreated. Additionally, the danger of accidents is more than doubled. The tsunamis could reveal vital details regarding whether ancient Mars was able to support life. As it returned to the sea, the first one cut out backwash channels, indicating that it took place when the planet must have been reasonably warm and conducive to life. By the time the second tsunami struck, however, the planet had cooled considerably. The waters had presumably flash frozen after spilling over the surface. An increase in the atmosphere's average temperature is referred to as global warming. This pattern started around the middle of the 20th century, and scientists and government leaders throughout the world are quite concerned about it. Most of the temperature increases are the consequence of the atmosphere's rising glasshouse gas concentrations.
The practice of evaluating the viability of a new service or product through a study done directly with potential consumers is known as market research, often known as marketing research. Market research enables a business to identify the target market and obtain customer comments and other input on their interest in the good or service. The alphabet itself is where the issue starts. Despite the fact that the two languages do not exactly share the same set of sounds, creating an English spelling system using Latin letters is like to creating a playroom using an IKEA office set. Sometimes, sounds simply shift randomly. The Great Vowel Shift in English was the most notable example of this.